All right, man. But let's shift over, man. Let's shift over. Speaking of ghosts and speaking of feudal Japan, Ubisoft. Why did this happen? So if you were not in the know, today, Ubisoft threw the white flag. They threw the white flag, and Assassin's Creed Shadows is getting delayed. Let's read this, and then we will get into my thoughts, and we're gonna get into a little roast session here. All right. What up, Psych? Thank you, everybody. So, this note says, "Dear players, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a dream project for us. Finally bringing the series to feudal Japan with many features developed with our community in mind, such as parkour or the renewed stealth brought by new technology, all set in a beautiful and immersive world. This is an ambitious addition to the franchise, a rich experience that can be lived through the eyes of two unique protagonists, but we realize we need more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of our key features." Now I saw that and I said, yeah, I even put it here. I said, oh hell. I said, now they are going to think, y'all know who they are. I don't even know why we're thinking that this means something else. You know who they are. They're going to think that y'all are shook about Ghost of Yotai, because that was the first narrative that came up, right? They said Sucker Punch announced that new Ghost game and got y'all scared. Because as I said before in this stream, and many people have said, Sucker Punch made the game that Ubisoft was supposed to make. This is what Ghost of Tsushima is, what Assassin's Creed Shadow was supposed to be. Sucker Punch and Sony beat them to the punch. And then years later, Ubisoft finally decided to make an Assassin's Creed game in Japan. So that was the first thing they were saying. So they were saying that people were shook. That Ubisoft was shook, and they saw that and they said, oh hell. They said that game looked good. I think we need to bake this game a little bit longer. So that's why I said that part. And then I put that the good old boys are getting their agenda off, which I don't know. Again, unless you've been living under a rock or have not been seeing any of my videos or seen us talking on the podcast, like if you come to GI for your gaming news, there's no way that you don't know about the agenda that is being pushed about this game, and that is still being pushed every single time that Ubisoft announces something about Assassin's Creed Shadows. It can be a new story trailer, whatnot. Like every time they reveal something new about this game, there's a certain community that nitpicks and hates on it every single time. And with this, they're going to feel like they won. It hasn't been canceled, because that's what they really want. They want the game to be canceled because you were dishonorable to the Japanese community and Japanese culture. The game has been delayed, but that's a win for them. They're going to be like, look what we did. Now you're gonna crawl in your little hidey hole, and you're gonna try to fix those things that were dishonorable about the game and that made the Japanese culture and the Japanese community upset. But again, these are white people talking. These are Caucasian people who are saying this, right? They are the ones who started the agenda. It wasn't the Japanese community. It wasn't Japanese culture. Now, there were some people that latched on, obviously, after that and had legit concerns. And again, I've said this a million times before. I will never, because again, it ain't my culture. Like, again, we're playing this, it ain't your culture. Well, it ain't yours either. I'm not the one complaining about it. I've said this a million times. Like, it's not my culture and it's not yours. So how do you get the gall to that you feel like you could speak for Japanese people? But again, there were some Japanese people that have brought up legit concerns about things that were wrong about certain things that they've shown in the trailer of Assassin's Creed Shadow. But again, a lot of that was, in my opinion, nitpicking, because I've never seen people so critical about a game that is not 100% historically accurate. Again, we keep harping on that. Oh, it's supposed to be historically accurate. It's supposed to be historically accurate. No, they didn't say that, and they even came back because it was getting so much flack and said, "Hey, this game is not historically accurate. Like it's just an illustration. It's an imagination of what's going on in feudal Japan, and we're putting Yasuke in it, who is, I mean, for the most part, a fictional character. You know, we might as well just say that it was a fictional character who they are imagining being in this era." But we cannot detach ourselves from that, and we're just like, oh, you said it was historically accurate, therefore this game is a disgrace and it's dishonorable, and we want this game canceled. So again, this is where we're at now. So the agenda is going to be further pushed, and you want to know why I said that? Then you want to know. It said, hold on, why Valentine's Day though? Oh, actually, let's go ahead and continue reading this. It says, such as we made the decision to postpone the release date to February 14, 2025. The game will release on a broad range of platforms, including blah, blah, blah. Pre-orders will be refunded. I find this interesting. Pre-orders will be refunded, and all future pre-orders will be granted the first expansion for free. That one's very interesting because I get what Ubisoft is trying to do here. They're like, yeah, the game isn't coming out this year, but to refund pre-orders, very interesting here. Very interesting. We understand this decision will come as disappointing news, especially to those who have been waiting patiently for an Assassin's Creed game inspired by feudal Japan, but we sincerely believe this is in the best interest of the game and ultimately your experience as a player. Rest assured, we are looking forward to the moment you will embark on a memorable adventure with Naoe and Yasuke. Until then, we thank you for your ongoing support. So, yeah. So this is their final statement. But guess what, man? Guess who immediately went to make videos. I just typed in Assassin's Creed Shadow. I actually do it again, just so y'all can see. I did nothing. I'm not looking at anything specific. All I typed in was Assassin's Creed Shadows. What's the first video that pops up? Algorithm is algorithming. The algo is outgoing. The first video. It's not by Ubisoft. The Assassin's Creed Shadow situation is crazy. This is one of the biggest haters. One of the biggest haters. He's almost on Grum's level of hate. Almost on Grum's level of hate. That man been hating on everything. Does he play video games? God, I swear he hates them all. I swear he hates them all. Let's see this one. Assassin's Creed Shadow delayed to 2025. Do you think that this is I mean, it could be. It could be a positive video. Could be. Let's see, IGN. Okay, we got it. We got actual journalists. All right. Ask my goal. This is a clip. Ask my goal. That ain't good. Next person. Assassin's Creed Shadows is in massive trouble. Do we think that that's a positive video? Like a Dreamcast guy. Harris still want to punch you in the face. Something is wrong with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Mad JT, Ubisoft board launches full internal investigation. What? Ubisoft delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows. They are screwed. Again, not a positive video. Ghost of Yotai is Ubisoft's nightmare. See, again, puts in this agenda. I don't have to make this stuff up. I don't have to make this stuff up. Y'all are saying it for me. Y'all are doing it. Y'all are thirsty for these views and to push the agenda of hating this game. Y'all are taking it as a win. This is we call him a coon right here. This Tyrone Magnus dude. Assassin's Creed Shadow delay. You a coon. This person, this is one of my favorites. You know she couldn't wait. She was licking her chop. Ubisoft delays Assassin's Creed Shadows until 2025. This is a disaster. It's a disaster. And look at this dude. This Sony State of Play surprises plus AC Shadows finally. He said finally delayed. He didn't say delayed, y'all. He said finally delayed. This is what I'm talking about. And these are the first videos that pop up. Now, do you get what I'm saying here? There is a clear agenda. There is a clear agenda here. And it's been ongoing for months, ever since this game was announced. Now, what would you think if you know nothing about Assassin's Creed Shadows and you're just trying to find a game trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows. None of these videos are from Ubisoft. None of them. Not one video is from Ubisoft. Not one of these videos is a trailer for the game. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I am putting down, chat? We finally get down here, and now we get the official word trailer. You have to scroll down in order to get to Ubisoft video. Finally. Like, and now we get another one. But again, Shadows, sort of like, bro, it's just, my God, man. It's bad, bro. It's bad. So, that is why I say what I say. But let's take it further. Let's take it further. This article came out today, which confirms what I just said. Let's read it, y'all. Ubisoft CEO, our goal is not to push any specific agenda. Our goal is not to push any specific agenda. And they said that the Ubisoft CEO is addressing some polarized comments around Ubisoft lately. Now, again, this is not just about Assassin's Creed Shadows. We already mentioned Star Wars Outlaw. That also caused a lot of controversy because they said y'all made that woman ugly and put her in the video game. And they said that the real actor don't look like that. So that was the first thing that people would get mad at. And then ultimately, Star Wars Outlaws did not meet expectations. Did not meet expectations. So let's continue to read this article. In a note to investors on Wednesday, which is today, as we are doing this stream, the Ubisoft CEO acknowledged that the company's second quarter fell short of expectations and vowed to launch a review aimed at further improving our execution. But he also addressed some of the cultural conversations happening around the company lately, which have intensified around Star Wars Outlaws and the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows, which was delayed to February 2025 in particular. He says, and I quote, "Finally, let me address some of the polarized comments around Ubisoft lately. I want to reaffirm that we are an entertainment-first company, creating games for the broadest possible audience, and our goal is not to push any specific agenda. We remain committed to creating games for fans and players that everyone can enjoy." Otherwise, he stated an emphasis on a player-centric gameplay-first approach while focusing on two key verticals: open world adventures and GaaS, which is games as a service native experiences. So, okay, so this is the full statement. For our second quarter performance fell short of our expectations, prompting us to address this swiftly and firmly with an even greater focus on player-centric gameplay first approach and an unwavering commitment to the long-term value of our brands. Although the tangible benefits of the company transformation are taking longer than anticipated to materialize, we keep on our strategy focusing on two key verticals: open world adventures, GaaS native experiences, with the objective to drive growth, recurrence, and robust free cash flow generation in our business. In the light of recent challenges, we acknowledge the need for greater efficiency while delighting players. As a result, beyond the first important short-term actions undertaken, the executive committee, under the supervision of the board of directors, launching a review aimed at further improving our execution, notably in this player-centric approach and accelerating our strategic path towards a higher performing model to the benefit of our stakeholders and shareholders. Finally, let me address some of the polarized comments around Ubisoft lately. I want to reaffirm that we are an entertainment-first company, creating games for the broadest possible audience, and our goal is to not push any specific agenda. Remain committed to creating games for fans and players that everyone can enjoy. In layman's terms, chat, in layman's terms, hey man, we ain't putting niggas and women in our games to try to push this DEI agenda that y'all are trying to say that we are pushing. We are trying to just make these games that'll get us money. And that's all. That's all. And like, yo, we are entertainment first. We don't know what y'all are talking about. I keep talking about DEI this, DEI that, nigga samurai this, nigga samurai that, ugly woman this, ugly woman that. We're just trying to make some game that y'all are going to buy and make us money. Hello? What up, Preach? So like again, in layman terms, you ain't even gotta process all of that. That's in layman terms what Buddy is saying here. We ain't doing that stuff that y'all are trying to accuse us of doing. And y'all are costing us money because y'all keep trying to push this agenda that we are trying to push this DI narrative. And then we're intentionally trying to put black people and women in the forefront in our video games. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make good games. So again, they noticed. I mean, why do you think they came out with the statement a month ago, apologizing to the Japanese people and saying, hey, like, regardless of what they saying over there, this game ain't historically accurate. Why do you think they said that? They are trying to damage control. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work. What you have to do, Ubisoft, but this is why they're going to bake it. This is why they're going to bake it some more. What you have to do is make sure that this game is a banger. Because, again, I think that there is some, I don't think that there is all, but I think there is some credence to Sucker Punch announcing Ghost of Yota. I think they did get a little shook. I ain't even gonna lie. I think they did get a little shook and were like, hey, y'all coming out with y'all next game and we ain't even released this yet? I don't think we're done here. Like, we need to make sure this game is polished and nobody can say anything bad about this game whenever it releases. I also would suggest that if they haven't done it already, all of the nitpicking, all of the dishonorable things that the Japanese community, I ain't talking about the white people, but the Japanese community has said is wrong with your game, you should probably fix that up too. Because again, you want to prevent this whole agenda from bubbling up, because it's going to be a huge shitstorm if this game ends up being crap. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. I hope that this game is one of the best games. Well, I can't say in 2024 anymore. I hope this is one of the best games of 2025. I really don't want y'all to mess up, because y'all are really banking on this. I think this is going to be like almost like the last hurrah for Ubisoft. Because if Star Wars Outlaws also did not meet expectations, and that also got crapped on because of the anti-woke people, and Assassin's Creed Shadows is constantly being talked about, and there is an agenda that's still being pushed, they're going to tear this game up. They're already tearing it up, and the game ain't even out yet. They're going to eat this game alive. They're going to chew y'all up and spit y'all out. And then we're going to be hearing, oh, Ubisoft just laid off some more people. Y'all lost however many millions of dollars because Assassin's Creed Shadows, you know, y'all main series, that's y'all main bread and butter, didn't make what we thought. And the investors are going to get mad. The stockholders are going to get mad. The shareholders are going to get mad. And that's going to just trickle down to the people that made the game. And then they're going to get fired. And then they're not going to have a job. And I don't want to see that. I want to see this game be great. Now, unfortunately, now you got to deal with Ghost of Yota around the corner. So people are going to be comparing now even more Assassin's Creed Shadows to Ghost. But it is what it is. Chose to do that. So hopefully it doesn't get delayed again. Hopefully y'all can get that stuff together. And when this game comes out, I hope it's great. I hope it's better than great. I hope it's amazing. I hope it's one of the best games I've ever played. Because boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. All those losers, man, who made that video. I mean, made all those videos. And they're going to keep going because they're grifters and they're going to get that money off of your hate, off of your tears, your keyboard clacking. They're making money off y'all, man. Making money off y'all. Y'all are too stupid to understand. Too stupid to understand. All these freaking losers with nothing to do with their lives, but just hop on the hate train. You're just hopping on the hate train, making videos as soon as it got announced. Get those views, man. Get that money. Get high up on the algorithm. Who don't even play games. Because apparently y'all upset with everything. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So you just need to go outside and touch the grass. Facts. Apparently they're playing Space Marines too, man. The most do this bro games of them all. They're playing Space Marine 2. Getting that testosterone in, man. Ubisoft said they're not pushing the agenda, so the grip to respond. They put it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're still doing it. That's why I said, you know, you can Ubisoft can apologize and say, hey, we're not doing it all they want until they're blue in the face. Damage has already been done. They already got you. And like I said, with you delaying the game, they're taking that as a win. They're going to take that as a win. They already are. They're going to do a little victory lap. They're gonna keep spinning. They're gonna keep spinning the block, waiting on y'all to announce something else, and then they're gonna make more videos. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been one of the hottest topics on YouTube in the internet period ever since it got announced. They're gonna keep going, gonna keep grifting. So man, oh man, that's wild. All right. So that was that. In other news, Nexus mod creator, because for all the people that play on Steam and have PCs, with all of these Sony games coming to Steam, it's been nice, but there is one thing that PC players and really Steam enthusiasts really don't like, and that's the fact that have to log into the Sony network in order to play these games. Now, I don't remember that being a thing, but also I don't think I've ever bought any Sony games that have come to PC because I played them already. So, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember this being a thing. And if it was a thing when Sony first started putting their first-person exclusives on Steam, if they were doing this since the beginning, then it wasn't. I don't remember hearing about it at all. But that has been a thing, and it's especially been amplified with Helldivers 2, because there were a lot of upset people that were like, hey, why are you making me sign in with Sony? I don't even have a Sony account. I don't own a Sony console. I only own a PC, or I own a PC and a Switch or whatever. But bottom line, I don't own a Sony console. So why do I have to sign in with Sony and just play the game? I don't have an account, and I'm not going to make an account just to play this game. So this is going to continue to be an issue here that Sony still has not learned. So to continue this with this particular article, God of War Ragnarok just came out. So a guy who made a Nexus mods, the creator of it, he made a mod to bypass you having to log into PSN, but it got super popular, so he took it offline. He said, I ain't trying to get sued, y'all. Now if this was Nintendo, they would have been on his ass by sunrise. But Sony, you know, I don't really see Sony being as aggressive as Nintendo. But in any case, this Nexus mod creator said, nah, I ain't even trying to risk it. Just so y'all ain't gotta sign into PSN. I ain't doing it. So let's see here. There's an update here before you read it. The creator of God of War Ragnarok PSN bypass mod told IGN it had become way too popular, and they pulled it offline out of a fear of potential threat from Sony, not because Sony had actually been in touch. So again, they did it because of the fear of a potential threat, but Sony has not reached out to the Nexus mod creator. But to continue this article, says in a statement to issue to IGN, the modder said, in short, this was my personal decision to remove the mod since it become way too popular and people started promoting it on Steam forums as well, thus generating tons of attention. I just wanted to avoid the possible threats from the Sony side, even though the code has never touched any of their products in memory. You never know, and it's really a gray area for me. So, I mean, that's that. But I mean, it would have been cool. Like I said, I don't think that, you know, even though I own a Sony console and I have for years and I have a PSN, I don't think that it should be a requirement at all for Steam users to make an account or to log in with Sony with PSN. So I agree with them there. And I said this to some of my coworkers. I was like, the one thing that Steam users or PC users do, they will stand on business. They will stand on business because, again, use Helldivers 2 as an example. As soon as Sony tried to pull that crap and made you sign in to PSN, then Helldivers 2 got massive hate reviewed It got hate reviewed, it got downvoted, and it got to a point where the Helldivers creator was like, "Yo, like we can't allow this. Like you're tanking our game just because you're making people sign in." Like apparently there was a grace period with Helldivers 2, and then Sony tried to activate it, and the Steam players were like, "No, we're not doing it. We would rather not play your game. We're going to refund it. We're going to give you negative reviews on Steam, and y'all not gonna be able to do nothing about it. Take this off, or else." And they took it off, or at least for a moment. I don't know if it's on there now, but in case Helldivers 2 does not have the same community that it had, but at least that was one thing. That Helldivers 2 has other issues, but that was one of the main issues that initially did tank that game for a minute. So I mean, it would be nice, man. It would be nice to not sign in to PSN, but hey, Sony gonna Sony, but they better start rethinking it. They better start rethinking that and not making that a requirement, because like I said, in my opinion, it does not make sense. So all right.